Bill and Dave are on the lam, not a scam. Grab your cam, could be in a traffic jam or maybe in Siam. Bill and Dave are hiding out, what's their route? Won't give out, searching Brussels for a sprout. They rarely mill a boat. Bill and Dave are on the lam, on a tram in Rotterdam. Don't you forward them your spam, they're clearly on the lam.
Well, my daddy left home when I was 3. Didn't leave much for Mom and me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Hey! It's on the lamb.
It's on the lamb. It's a Johnny Cash on the lamb.
We had a
Shel Silverstein.
quick tutor lesson on we had the reception better here. We're making a lot of fun of the modern age and people living on their smartphones, but I was going to try and look up the lyrics to Boy Named Sue on the computer, but it's all right.
That's okay.
It turned out just fine.
I used to obviously love that song as a kid.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And do you know, well, did Shel Silverstein actually write it with the cuss word in there, or did Johnny Cash add that?
I don't know that.
Wait. Shel Silverstein really wrote that?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
And what I don't know the backstory. Like, I don't know if it was an existing song that Shel Silverstein pitched to Johnny Cash.
I don't know the backstory either. But I do know this, that it wasn't until that came out on CD, maybe 12 years ago, was the very first time that it was ever available unedited.
Really?
Yeah. That was never released with him saying "son of a bitch" on vinyl.
Oh, that's why they always would make a little or something.
Because everybody knew it.
Right, and y'all
Right.
you thought it was the radio, but no, that's how they
released it.
That's how much times have changed.
Wow. So they had to edit the actual record.
Right, yeah.
Wow. And that I did not know. I never owned the album, so I never knew that if you put it on your record player, you'd hear the same edit as you heard on the radio.
They were live at San Quentin.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would explain the live cheering audience.
What about prisons?
I was saying he was good with prisons.
Had a very captive audience.
Something scrapping in the mud and the blood and the beer. It's got some great lines in it.
I used to know that song. I used to know a lot of songs. Now I just know a line or two, or a word or two.
That's all you need.
Like, sundown.
You know that part.
Sundown. Sundown.
Oh, there's that one too, yeah. The other sundown in Sundowns. Sundown.
This is as bad as a breakfast episode.
No, it's not. Sorry, I'm going to represent the listenership here on the breakfast ones.
Yeah, so Wendy is not a fan of the breakfast episode.
I just say, I'm not
Wendy doesn't like the Breakfast Club.
Well, then you can't
I
come,
just
Wendy.
think it's not you guys' best.
Probably not, but we're very...
And plus, I gain weight every time I listen to it. That's the bigger issue. You got there some percussion?
Yes, I think this is mine. But we're friends here.
We're all friends. I hear steps. Who's this? It's a mystery guest.
Spoosh. It's the comet.
Oh.
You go
The
look
comet
at the
is not... Well, the comet went the other way. The comet... Oh, there's a comet.
Uh-oh.
We're going to do a little...
Wow, that's... What happened when you were taking your contacts out? Will that work? Get Band-Aids on
She's
your
wearing
eyes?
those old glass contacts.
Contacts. No, I am having trouble with dry, cracking skin around my
Oh, I am
cuticles.
familiar.
I hate that.
A live repair job
Yeah.
on her thumb while we're
This is the best.
podcasting.
Cuticle repair woman.
Well, let's see. We got the blood and the beer, and now we need some mud.
Yeah.
There's some burning paraffin. Whatever.
Burning paraffin.
Yeah.
I know the words of that song. Burning paraffin. That's all I know. That's all I got. I remember one time in the old Steve Allen show. I love when these spontaneous things happen. This was the Steve Allen incarnation where he was actually opposite Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show for a number of years. Johnny Carson was on NBC and Steve Allen was on ABC. And one time, I used to love the Steve Allen show. I was like 7th, 8th grade. It was during that period where I was staying up watching TV into the wee hours, and my parents had no idea because they were sleeping normal hours, but they did not realize they had a nightingale on their hands, or an owl, or whatever they call them. And I was never a bluebird.
A night owl.
I was a night owl. Yeah, well,
That's
that's the
night
term.
owl.
Midnight Rambler.
Yeah, gambler. Steve Allen came back from a commercial, and the camera was zoomed in on. He had a little bowl of fruit, and there was a grapefruit, and he had grapes, and he was just dropping the grapes next to the grapefruit. And the guy in the orchestra started playing this little adagio or something, and then they went into some little jazz riff, not a riff. He and the piano player did that. Oh, we're having an argument. He went to a riff, and Steve Allen started singing, "Dropping grapes near grapefruit brings me closer to you." Dropping grapes near grapefruit isn't hard to do, though dropping prunes next to kumquats may be much more fun. I'll keep dropping grapes near grapefruit till the day is done. And that has stuck with me all these years. It's just a beautiful little. I just thought it was the funniest thing. I quickly wrote down the lyrics, and I had them for years on a little quickly scratched pencil scrap of binder paper that I put on. And I just remember going around singing that in my house, thinking that I was the only one in the house who understood the genius that was Steve Allen. It was mine.
I remember as a kid on Creature Feature, pretty sure it was Creature Feature, or maybe it was Fingal, I don't know. It was when it was late night, after 10 o'clock. There was a movie on called Bucket of Blood. Mm-hmm. I thought, I got to see this. And it opened, I was excited about it, especially when I heard the humorous theme song was sung. And it was, "My son, the vampire, he will drink you pale. All he does is drink your blood because he don't like ginger ale." And it was Alan Sherman.
Oh,
Alan Sherman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The song parodyist of our youth.
And I finally found that on CD.
Really? Well, that must have been wonderful.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I love it.
Bucket of blood.
Because you don't like
But I
ginger ale.
remember being very disappointed in the movie. I remember it being not about vampires and.
No. So often, you are built up by the title, and it turns out to be.
Yeah, I didn't like, and I still don't like horror movies that are just people getting killed.
No,
Yeah.
that's the lowest common denominator, really.
Yeah, but unfortunately, there's a big audience for that.
Yeah.
And there will always be, I guess. But
yeah,
we don't have to watch it.
No.
Nobody
And we
says
won't.
No.
We won't.
No. What we are going to watch in this undisclosed location later is a nice comedy, spooky movie called Ghostbreakers with Bob Hope and Paulette Goddard and Anthony
Quinn looking
very young,
impossibly young and handsome,
and not Hugh Marlowe, but Tom. Well, maybe it's Hugh Marlowe plays the.
Not Hugh Marlowe, no.
It's Tom Keane, the guy from Detour. And then Willie Best, black actor Willie Best, who we saw in Movie Club in The Body Disappears,
right, with
Jane Wyman and Everett Horton.
Edward.
Oh my! And we've spoken of Everett Horton in the past on this podcast.
Where's the Edward Horton box set?
I don't know. There should be.
Yeah.
Now, that movie that we showed in Movie Club is probably the closest thing he ever got to being the lead in the movie.
Yeah.
He was definitely the lead character actor, although the guy that disappeared and Jane Wyman were the...
You should contact Alpha, because they're looking for 16mm prints.
Well, they might...
See what kind of deal they offer you.
Yeah.
Because I would buy that DVD.
the Everett Horton DVD?
Yeah.
Yeah, so would I, actually. You'd have to get a lot of... Well, there'd be a lot of Fred Astaire in there, because he was like Fred Astaire's oh my guy.
Yeah.
And he did a bunch.
He was in Lost Horizon too, wasn't he?
Really?
He was. That's right, he was. Mm-hmm. With Jane Wyatt, who was later on Father Knows Best. But yeah, Everett Horton was in that. He was all over. He was just like one of those guys that I think he just showed up for work at the studio and he said, "Who am I this time? And here's your script. Okay, you go over to Studio B."
Just in everybody's little black book.
Yeah.
And yet, that's what the beauty of the studio system when it was working and behaving humanely towards its actors.
If you were under contract
it
and
was
you
a steady-
behaved yourself, you could...
You show up for work every day. If they didn't have a movie for you, then you went and you worked out. You went to the gym. You went to movement class. You studied voice if you were under contract for voice. I know that's what Christine McIntyre did at Columbia. She just vocalized all day long, and or as long as she needed to.
So what happened? Free agents? Is that what ruined everything?
Yeah, just the artists wanted United Artists came about, and I don't even think that still exists, but the whole, we want control of our destiny more. And there's always been independent movies, but now that's a whole thing. And the studios as such are more distribution centers for anybody that comes to them with a movie that they like. They say, we made this movie. They go to the MGM distribution. I think that's how it works now. And MGM executives say, yeah, we like this movie that you made. We'll put our flag on it.
As a finished product, you're saying? Just kind of stamp it and send it out?
Yeah, and then it gets the lion in the front. Mm-hmm. And I think Warner Brothers still exists. Yeah, now you see a Warner Brothers movie, it shows an old picture of the Quonset hut that the studio used to be in, and they play that piano thing of As Time Goes By from Casablanca. And and then you see the movie. Good. But they didn't really have anything to do with it. It just someone is going to them now. It's like so. There is no more. The studio still exists. Like Universal still exists. Conan O'Brien's. That's the thing. Conan O'Brien tapes his show at the Universal lot, but he's just like renting. Like he's not there because Universal hired him. He hired Universal. Like, yeah, we like this is a good space for us. We'd like to rent it out. How much does it cost for us to use this studio here? And MGM says, oh, well, we'll sign a